Trying to save your marriage after your husband was unfaithful? It's not the popular choice. And I'm guessing most of your friends and family haven't exactly been supportive or helpful in your choice to fight for your marriage. But that's why I'm here. And today I'm going to share how to navigate your marriage after the affair in a way that will rebuild the love and intimacy you both miss. This helped my client Amy, who was so frustrated because she desperately wanted to forgive her husband after he showed genuine remorse for his infidelity. But every time they tried to be intimate, and I'm not just talking about sex, but any attempt to get close to her husband, images of the other woman came flashing up, and she couldn't help but pull away. Finally, after working together, she was able to find a sense of calm and peace within herself, which was crucial for rebuilding trust and intimacy. And the uncontrollable thoughts and self-doubt began to fade away, allowing her to regain control over her own mind. She and her husband have been able to foster a deep connection between themselves. Arguments have become less frequent, and happiness has replaced the lingering resentment. Now, before you can really learn how to reestablish intimacy in your marriage, there's something you need to understand. You're probably experiencing feelings of disconnect, mistrust, hurt, anger, and find yourself pulling away from your husband even when you tell yourself you want to be close. These are all completely normal responses, and here's why. When you experience infidelity in your marriage, it's a shock to the system, and that shock creates emotional trauma, very similar to a long-term brain injury or PTSD. Unfortunately, many women, like my client Amy, try to rationalize their way through the pain, which only leads to more confusion and resentment. Because emotional trauma isn't rational, it clouds your judgment and makes it impossible for any real progress to be made. When these trauma cells are running the show, you'll experience symptoms like uncontrollable ruminating thoughts, out of character rage, and getting triggered the moment he touches you. It can feel impossible to get back to the way things were before the infidelity happened, because every time he tries to get close, your nervous system goes into overdrive, warning you that it's not safe. How can you possibly rebuild love and intimacy in a marriage from a state like this? You really can't. And that's why even after years of therapy, couples find themselves in just a shell of what their marriage used to be. It becomes permanently broken, but it's only because they didn't have the right tools to heal. By working through this trauma, you can start to feel a sense of calm and peace in your body, which is essential for rebuilding trust and intimacy. Many women come to me and tell me they feel like they're going crazy because they can't turn off their brain. They can't stop overthinking, and every time they think they've made a firm decision on whether they want to stay or leave, they change their mind again. They tell me how they never used to be this indecisive and how they feel like they've lost their confidence. They're afraid to stay because what if he does it again? And then they only have themselves to blame. But they're also afraid to leave because they'd regret at least not trying to save their marriage. So they end up stuck in an endless loop of confusion and despair. All these things I just mentioned are symptoms of emotional trauma, and they can be healed in just a few short months. And once you've done this, you'll naturally be able to communicate more effectively with your husband, which will foster greater intimacy and love moving forward.